So now Jurassic World Rebirth is out, and now the Superman movie is coming out. Came out yesterday officially. We are less than 2 weeks away from the biggest movie of the summer, the Fantastic Four First Steps. And they just keep dropping banger after banger when it comes to the trailers. The trailers are so good for the Fantastic Four movie. So this week we had the UK launch for the Fantastic Four movie where they showed off 30 minutes of the movie and certain TikTokers and YouTubers got to interview cast members and the directors. Now, personally, I'm always transparent with you guys. For any movie, interviews don't really mean anything. I don't know anyone that will watch a movie because their favorite TikToker or favorite presenter or favorite YouTuber got to interview the director and got to ask the most ambiguous, pointless questions ever. And let's be honest, most of these interviews don't even come out till launch week or after the movies come out. So what is the point of it? I get it. It's part of marketing. Pointless if you ask me, but what do I know? I'm just a little voice in this space. So Marvel did something they don't normally do. They literally test screened the whole movie recently, just before it came out, knowing that people would talk about the Doctor Doom ending. But today, we're going to go one step further than that. We have the whole plot leak of the movie. And to be fair, it does sound pretty reliable and it could be very real because it lines up with a lot of the trailers. And I guess you could say, yeah, but this plot leak's coming quite late in the game. I believe this is quite real. So I got it courtesy of the Geeky Cast, but it's not actually his information. He got it courtesy of Reddit. And as we know, I've been covering this stuff for 5-6 years, if not longer. Most of the reliable information that the Twitter scoopers claim is theirs actually comes from Reddit or 4chan. I said what I said, but it's true, guys. Go back on the channel. The Superman information was bang on. So bang on to the T. Devil spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life. Even the monkeys trolling Superman was true. I can't believe the plot leak was actually true for Superman. Oh wait, I can because I've been covering this stuff, so it reads like this. I would normally say take this with a grain of salt, but here I won't because a user on a platform I won't reveal told me the entire plot of the movie for Fantastic Four. He attended the movie in an early screening. Please quit this post immediately if you don't want spoilers. And it's like I say, lads, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch a channel like this. And I always think this builds hype for movies. I read the comments, why are you posting stuff like this? You're ruining the movies. No, this literally builds hype up for the movies, in my opinion. And also, Disney literally wants you to know that RDJ is in the movie. And also, apparently, they're going to use his voice, according to a wannabe scooper. So it reads like this. Act 1, Introduction Discovery. Open montage, a stylistic TV montage recaps the Fantastic Four, origin powers, and current public image. Talk show, prep. The team is backstage getting ready for an appearance, but gets an alert and leaves before going on stage. Opening action sequence. A 10-minute battle with Red Ghost by a licensed rock track. Sets the tone and reintroduce the powers and dynamics. Now this is good, why? Because a lot of people watching this movie won't actually be a comic book fan. And like I keep telling you, lads and ladettes, the general audience is what makes or breaks a movie. These movies, you might think they're made for comic book fans. They're not. They're made for the general moviegoer, you know, a popcorn flick, you know. Something you'd watch and forget about, you know, just like the Superman movie was, just like Jurassic World. They're popcorn flicks. They're not made for the hardcore Twitter fans like people seem to think. I never really get that. Although there is a lot of information and, you know, a lot of Easter eggs out there for fans, they're made for the general audience. Family dinner from the trailer. Sue reveals she's pregnant. Big emotional beat. Ben's subplot. Ben bonds with children and flirts with a teacher, not Eliza Masters. Reed discovers, whilst experimenting with teleportation, Reed learns the entire planets are mysteriously vanishing. Act 2, cosmic threat reemerges. 7 months later, Sue pregnancy is advanced. Reed conducts an ultrasound to see if the baby has powers. The Silver Surfer arrives, descends over Times Square with a dire warning. Your doom is inevitable. A nice cameo of 2 comic book creators. One named Jack, witnessing the event. So, I guess you could read into this. Your doom is inevitable. Is this an Easter egg, a reference to Doctor Doom? It could be. I don't know. It's also worth saying, just because they've screened this movie does not actually mean this is beat for beat, does not mean this information is real, but let's just pretend it is. The Fantastic Four mission to space. Reed tracks the surfer's energy. The team boards a ship to investigate planetary disappearances. They witness Galactus devouring a planet using a horrific mechanical planet drill. Resembles the Bayverse Transformers. Interesting. We've seen a lot of this in trailers, and like I said, yes, you could say, yo, someone's actually just watched the trailers and put everything together. Really? They've shown you 30 minutes of the movie. That information's out there. They test screened the movie literally about a month ago. This is nothing new, but it's in a lot more depth. First encounter with Galactus on Galactus' ship. A scan highlights Sue's belly. The surfer says Sue will lead them to Galactus. There are disturbing visual bones, flesh, and planet life in flowing canal. Galactus is seated on a throne. We've seen this in the trailer. He offers Earth as safety in exchange for Sue's unborn child, whom he senses could replace him, ending his eternal hunger. Plot point keeps coming up and keeps coming up, so we know the pivotal plot point of the movie is Galactus wants the baby. Interesting. Act 3, Escape and Reservation. I can't say that word. Sue goes into labor on Galactus' ship. Escape sequence. The Fantastic Four flee in their ship, chased by the surfer, while Sue gives birth mid-flight. Reed tells Ben to skimp a black hole event horizon to trap the surfer. It works. Franklin is born above Earth. This literally lines up with rumors that have been out there. Public fallout. Reed reveals everything. Herbie is destroyed by angry protesters. Protesters surround the Baxter building. Reed suggests giving up Franklin. Sue is furious. Sue walks into the crowd with Franklin and delivers a heartfelt speech about staying united as a family. And to be fair, Vanessa Kirby, in my opinion, is a very good actor. Like I've made it vocal before, Reed Richards, played by Patrick Pascal, cannot act, but he might be able to act. I don't know, I've just not seen this. I'm judging his performance of The Last of Us and when he played a role in Wonder Woman 84. Everyone keeps saying that Padro's a great actor. Then you can't tell me what good movie he's appeared in. So he could be great in this movie. And if he is great in this movie, I'll say, yo, the lad can actually act. But so far, and yes, I've seen Narcos, which he's most famous for. And it's like I say, he's more of a TV actor. Yes, there's parts of Last of Us where he can act. There's parts of Narcos where he could act. But overall, he's not a movie actor. But maybe this movie can change my opinion. And if it does, I'll be like, yo, sorry, lads, the boy can actually act. So let's continue. Global corporatization plan. Reed proposes a worldwide teleportation network to move Earth to safety. The humanity rallies together to build teleporters. Okay, we've seen the equations in the trailers. During the countdown, the surfer returns and destroys the teleporters. Act 4, the final plan. Johnny's side plot plays off. Earlier, the surfer told Johnny something in her language. He's been translating audio from dying planets. After the teleporter sabotage, Johnny plays audio of the dying planets in Times Square. The surfer is emotionally overwhelmed and flees, leaving behind one working teleporter. New plan. They bait Galactus with Franklin to lure him into the remaining teleporter. God damn! That is a savage plan. New York City is evacuated. Galactus arrives, detects the trap, and snatches Franklin anyway. He destroys the Baxter building to get him back. Act 5. Climax. Resolution. Final battle. The Fantastic Four fight Galactus. Reed snatches Franklin mid-battle. Johnny triggers the teleporter, and Sue pushes Galactus in using a massive force field. Now, it's worth saying, Galactus is as big as a planet, but he can also make himself as small as a mouse if he wants. That Strange kills Sue. Now, this part has always been a plot point that Sue dies, but Franklin saves her. Sacrifice and redemption. Galactus is only halfway through. Johnny prepares to finish the job. The surfer returns and sacrifices herself, completing the mission. Sue revival. The sacrificing Fantastic Four grief. Baby Franklin crawls over Sue, reviving her, showing his vast reality warping powers. Final scene. Full circle repeats the TV montage, talk show, prep. This time they argue about how to install Franklin's car seat just before running off on another mission. Post-credit scene teases for sequel. Sue opens quietly in the Baxter Building nursery. Sue is reading to baby Franklin, who knows now a few months old. She leaves to grab a book from the shelf around the corner. As she turns back, she freezes or froze. Dr. Doom is crouched in front of Franklin, speaking softly to him. He lifts his head slowly, locks eyes with Sue, and says something obnoxious, possibly foreshadowing Franklin's powers or Doom's future role. Now, interesting. Does this seem legit? I mean, it basically lines up with everything else that we've heard about the movie, and it's in a lot more depth than the other plot leaks we've gone over. Now, it is worth saying that allegedly, this rumor's going around. Are you ready to hear Robert Downey Jr.'s fantastic voice in Fantastic Four? First steps after 6 years away. So, will he appear with a white and grey cape and hood, just like he did in Secret Wars? So are they trying to imply that RDJ is going to talk in the Fantastic Four movie? Damn, they better get their checkbooks out if that is actually the case. The actual original information that went around about the Fantastic Four role of Doctor Doom didn't say anything about talking, but this did say talking. Doesn't mean we're actually going to get RDJ talking. It makes no absolutely difference here. But, I mean, teasing the voice would make a lot of sense. Is this true? I don't know. But it does confirm that Galactus doesn't destroy their Earth that's now being confirmed to be Earth 828. Okay, so now the post-credit scene in the Thunderbolts, some kind of Fantastic Four ship arriving, people thought, yo, it's because their universe explodes. And no, their universe doesn't explode. Galactus is teleported via Sue, using a force field to push him, and then the Silver Surfer does the job. So the post-credit scene is teasing someone rocking up, but we don't know who it is. There is information going around involving setting up the Avengers Doomsday, similar to what they did in the Thunderbolts at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, but the whole Doom stealing the baby kind of is this thing already, but there is a mid-credit scene. I mean, some people get this confused. There aren't two post-credit scenes. One is a mid-credit scene and one's the post-credit scene, which is after the credits. I don't even have to believe I have to explain this, but there is still a lot of mysteries, right? Because there was the rumor went over about the political world all meeting, and there was a Latveria sign that isn't said. But like I say, rumors are rumors. It doesn't mean that's true. There is also the rumor of the original Fantastic Four being the mid-credit scene, and Ian Gryffindor was the mystery guy on set, the Council Reed. There's so many things we still don't know, even though this is pretty much bang on. I guarantee this will be 80% of the movie, give or take. Just like when I said the Superman leaks were probably true, and they were, like they have been for endless other movies. So I think this sounds like an absolute fire movie. Based on the most recent last two trailers, I think the Fantastic Four movie will probably be the best movie of the summer out of the pop culture stuff. So far for me, it goes Jurassic World Rebirth, then it goes Superman, and we'll see where the Fantastic Four slides. I know a lot of people would disagree on my take. I think the Superman movie is a good, fun popcorn movie. You're going to forget about it, right? If you're a general audience, you don't follow this kind of niche, I think you'll love it. The problem is, as a Superman movie, it's not a very good Superman movie. You're making Lex Luthor cry. You're making Lex Luthor a freaking... What are you doing? Superman gets bodied the whole movie. I get it. They were trying to make Superman like a human, and he's not indestructible, but he's not a human. I get it. That's what makes Superman human, his humanity. I get it. But the cast for Superman was great. Really good cast. Can I just thank the cast? Very good. The writing was not. It's just standard James Gunn writing, which I don't necessarily like. I don't think James Gunn's the best writer. The Superman movie should have been the best movie thus far, pre-Fantastic Four. But for me, it's just too forgettable. There's too many scenes that, like, really, nah, it just wasn't. And the whole kind of, political kind of plot point that is at the start of the movie, but they've swapped the countries around. It was basically Black Adam in that sense. But Superman movie's a good movie, but it's a bad Superman movie, if that makes sense, for the general audience. I know a lot of people will say, oh my God, you're a hater. No, like I say, it's a good movie. It's just not a good Superman movie, sadly, because Superman gets sidelined in his own movie. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.